Okay, so good morning, everybody. Happy new month, happy new year. I want to welcome everybody I want to thank you first and foremost for joining today's information session for the Young Professionals Mentoring Program. In our midst, we have our director of the Daniel Leadership Institute, Tolu Peters, and we have the deputy director of DLI, Femi Olumoko. So the plan for this morning is to go over what the YMP program is going to be, talk a little bit about DLI, and discuss the next steps for those who would like to or intend on submitting an application for this year. My name is Anthony Moreira. I am the director of this program for YMP and a longtime member of the Daniel Leadership Institute. Okay. So as we begin with the agenda, I'm going to go over the history of the YMP program. And we're going to talk about the program. We have some testimonials from a few of our alumnus who are here, the program requirements, and then, as I mentioned before, the next steps. And if anybody has any questions, they will put it in chat, and then I'll do my best to answer as we go along. So who are we, and what do we have going on here? The Daniel Leadership Institute YMP program was founded in 2005, and as you can see, it was formerly known as the JHDC Mentoring Program. And the vision and the mission behind this program is to develop leaders that will be able to influence the world with the dignity and nobility of true Christians. Our values are faith, integrity, reliability, and excellence, and that's an acronym for FIRE. The Daniel Leadership Institute is composed of 3 separate programs. This is the YMP program, which is in the middle of your screen, which educates and equips young professionals through its 1-year leadership program. The CLP, or Community Leadership Program, empowers emerging leaders in the community to create social change. One of their notable programs is something called Toastmasters, which is a program in which people develop their public speaking and leadership skills in a community setting. Additionally, we have what's called the GLP, or Global Leadership Program. If you're familiar with DLI, we had our launching last year in December, in which we connect driven, accomplished professionals, typically mid to senior career level professionals, specifically YMP alumni, with global leaders. And we had 5 that participated that are going to be participating in this go around. And so that is what GLP does. So now we're going to talk about our program and what we have going on here, what you may have piqued your interest or why you're joining us today. So the YMP program is just under a year-long faith-based leadership and mentorship program. With the asterisk, the tilde is for less than a year, but it kind of starts now, right? The program begins now, or it started in January, if you will, with the marketing and letting people know what's going on. So that's why we say it's a year long. And it's designed to engage young professionals, early graduates, early career, people who had just got out of school, people who are less than 5 years in their career, trying to figure out what's going to work best for them. And we try to engage them by cultivating their leadership skills and propelling growth in their careers with their finances and, of course, personal development. So the mission and the overarching goal of this program is to educate and empower dynamic leaders, men and women who want to excel in their chosen field, and, of course, influence their world. And so we have a number of different workshops and hopefully guest speakers that will come and impart information to allow you to consider and think about what maybe you weren't considering before, but incorporate that into your personal and professional package to allow you to achieve your goals, and of course, aid and support other people as well. So, what drives the program? What are the components of the program? Number one is having a coaching relationship. So, all of our attendees, if selected, will be paired with a coach who will help walk you through your own personal and, of course, professional goals. We will have monthly workshops and guest speakers. So these guest speakers will lead workshops on various topics that I'll get into as we go along. Additionally, the expectation is that we will be reading several books. One of the books that I know we'll be reading is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's one of my favorite books of all time by I forget the author's name, but it's 7 habits that we'll be discussing. Additionally, we'll have different journal presentations, so we'll be expected to stay current in your industry and anything else that's affecting your world, and you'll be presenting on that. Additionally, you'll have what's called an IDP, or individual development plan, whereby you will set goals and talk about or discuss the things you want to accomplish within this year program, and set SMART goals, meaning they're measurable, they're achievable, and you can measure the results and things to that effect. Additionally, you'll have what's called community projects, and so this is a really important component of the DLI YMP, whereby you will be working with a nonprofit in the Washington, D.C. area, and they'll have a goal or a mission that they want to accomplish. And you all as participants will apply your skill sets, apply your know-how, study, research, learn, and hopefully suggest tidbits that these nonprofits can implement into their organization. As I said before, the program format consists of entry or mid-level professionals and graduate students who are interested in harnessing their leadership skills. You'll be paired with professional and leaders in the Washington, D.C. and beyond area who are Christians. Additionally, the community project partners are nonprofits within the DC area and in need of pro bono consulting. So though, as I mentioned before, these are the components of what the program is going to be consisting of. So the criteria to be selected for the program involves the following. There has to be, or we want to sift for and look for people who have leadership potential, anybody who has experience in accomplishing things from a professional standpoint. Additionally, we're looking for those who have interest in community involvement. As I've mentioned before, you will be doing some pro bono consulting. So if that doesn't necessarily interest you, perhaps this program may not pique your interest. Additionally, you have to be committed to your personal growth. That's a really important component to this, because when I say committed to your personal growth, that involves a number of different things I can't necessarily discuss today, as far as taking the time to invest in yourself, taking the time to read or think about things that are important to you. I know we have a lot of things that are attacking our attention and our capacity, but this is an investment. And we want to be sure that we are selecting and working with people who have that same interest. As I said before, it's approximately less than a year, but the program is intense and it starts in March. So I have a calendar that we're going to get to, but it runs from March 2025 up until December of 2025. So now, the aforementioned syllabus. In terms of what's going to happen now, we have those who are selected and things to that effect. We have our orientation session on March 15th. We have our first workshop on the 22nd. And so on. As you can see here, we have once a month workshops that will commence on the 15th of March. Applications for this program are open up until February 17th, and you can apply on our website. You can find the link and then submit your application on the website. So now I'm going to stop talking and invite 2 of our alumnus to answer a few questions for us. I have here Nana Apong and Mr. Oluwatobi Sonwande. And so my question is, for both of them, I'll ask them to come off mute, and I'll ask them these questions and I'll let them speak. So my question for both of them is, number 1, what motivated you to join the YMP program? Number 2, how has the program impacted your personal or professional development? And number 3 is, what would you say to someone who is considering joining the program? So those are the 3 questions, and I'll ask Nana to start us off. Please give it up for Nana Apong.
Okay. Hello, good morning, good day, everyone. So Anthony, would you like me to answer all 3 together or one by one?
All 3 together. I'll let you take the stage.
All right, so I'll keep this spicy and brief. So the reason that I decided to join YMP was honestly because I had the opportunity to reconnect with some old friends of mine who had joined the program. So sometimes you do just take a leap just because people you trust are getting engaged in this opportunity. So that's really what motivated me to join YMP. And to be honest, I do not regret the experience. This program has impacted my personal and professional growth because the skills that were learned throughout this program have definitely been skills that I'm continuing to refine. I would say specifically for me, public speaking. That is a journey that I am still on. You'll also find out that throughout this program, you'll have the opportunity to continue in something called Toastmasters, where you can work on your public speaking and we come to realize that even in this digital day and age, we are still working um, with our public speaking, we're speaking with others, and we are engaging with one another. So the ability to do so is something that started in YMP, was unsolicited. I didn't ask to do these presentations, but through these presentations, I've been able to become more confident in my speaking. And then something I would say to someone who is considering to join the program is to go ahead and join it. Aside from maybe life situations, maybe the timing may not be great, or maybe costs and schedule might be in conflict. If you don't have those things and you find yourself giving excuses as to why you will not join this program, you should really sit back and think, why would I rob myself of growth? So if you have the opportunity to join YMP, you should definitely do so.
Thank you very much, Nana. Mr. Sawande, the floor is yours, sir.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anthony. To start with your first question, what motivated me to join YMP, I think I was in between, the transition from college to now the professional life. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to go into the corporate space or I, more so wanted to do the entrepreneurial route. So YMP exposed me to both worlds. I think it gave me the opportunity to see what it'll be like, to train as a corporate professional, and then also what it would be like to entertain the idea of being a creative entrepreneur. So it gave me the opportunity to see both worlds. I say that's one of the reasons why I definitely joined. And then how the program has impacted me. I think the program is so unique in terms of the value system around it, right? We're training young professionals, but we're also focused around the center of Christianity, right? And I think in a space where, the world has so many different dynamics, so many attacks on, your value system, your religion, your faith, your identity itself. I think being around a group of like-minded individuals that are rooted in that foundation gave me that, I would say it fortified me a little bit. And it also gave me the confidence to be able to say, I have people that I can lean on and ask questions, right? The mentorship aspect was very big for me as well. So that was big. And as far as who or when you're entertaining the idea of joining or should you join, I would say yes. If you have the bandwidth, because you don't want to underestimate the amount of time you might have to put into some of these projects. It's pro bono. So you have to weigh out, what your current, lifestyle is in terms of work, your family obligations, and then being able to balance the time. But I think if you have that space to dedicate the time, and being, present, I think it's a very, very useful tool for, like public speaking, we talk about that, team building, leadership skills, and just general community building as well. I think it's very, very beneficial. So I recommend it. I definitely do. If you're thinking about it, you're on the fence about it, I would say if you have the time and you can dedicate the time, please do it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you both, Mr. Sawande and Nana, for your responses. I too, Anthony, and also an alumnus of the program, excuse me, and I want to echo everything that they mentioned because it has the power to be very transformative. But as they mentioned before, you want to be sure that you have the time to commit. And that brings me to the next point, and I'm going to talk about the program requirements for this YMP. So the cost is $150 US. Additionally, the majority of the workshops will be taking place via Zoom online. And I already mentioned the class dates. You want to be sure that you can attend essentially all of the classes because we have a very strict attendance policy as far as, this is designed for you. It's an investment in you. So if you're not going to be able to attend, 4 or 5 of them, then it's not necessarily the best investment in you because we're doing a lot. We have a lot of expectations and we're inputting a lot into our fellows. So you want to be sure to attend as many as possible, if not all of them. Additionally, there will be assignments in terms of required reading, journal presentations, as I mentioned before, and any other tidbits that the program cohort will need to get us from point A to point B. And of course, you'll be paired with a coach / mentor. So you have to be sure that you're able to attend and invest in that person, because that person cannot necessarily help you if you're not necessarily available and able to help yourself. Additionally, there are the work projects, and this is a really important tool because yes, you are operating in a pro bono capacity, but our opportunity is to make an impact. And so we will focus, the focus is on making an impact. So there's a lot of work that has to happen before your suggestions or before whatever you think about can be shared for that impact. So you want to be sure that you're able to be mindful and be present for all of those things. Additionally, as before mentioned, the behavior / attitude, those are all things that are really important, right? And like Mr. Sawande said, the bandwidth is critical. So if your bandwidth is as such, you're not necessarily able to be consistent, then that's fine. Because what would be worse is if we have people who are interested and they make the investment, and we're pulling teeth, we're not able to be in contact with them, things to that effect. That becomes very arduous and troublesome. So we want to be sure that while doing this program, everything is on the up and up, so to speak. Additionally, and upon completion, you will get your certificate of completion and all of those things that kind of indicate what you've done. Additionally, there's sub games and other things that we have for those of us who are able to participate in terms of Fellow of the Year and things to that effect. So I want to be sure that I go through all those things before we end up here. So next is the application and interview process. The applications have been opened today. February 1st is the information session. It will be recorded in case anybody is not able to attend today. Additionally, the application submission deadline is February 17th. So that's over 2 weeks from today. The process involves you submitting an essay and getting a letter of recommendation and across some other things. You can apply on our website. Additionally, the February 24th is when we will notify applicants of their opportunity to interview. The schedule is to have our interviews on March the 1st. So March 1st, save the date if you are selected for an interview. We will let everyone know who's selected and not selected by March 8th. And then on March 15th, we will have our orientation session. So that is the timeline. Are there any questions before I continue? Yes, okay, so here we go. The application process is a professional resume or curriculum vitae, one short essay, additionally one letter of recommendation, and this can be from anybody who knows you from a professional standpoint, and of course, the completed application. The completed application is an indication for us to review to review who you are as a candidate. If you have not completed your application, that is, there's not much we can do after that point. So just be sure that if you want to be considered, make sure you submit your application and all of its subcomponents. And this is what the process looks like: name, address, email, cell, so on and so forth. Your personal information, your career or leadership information, work experience, briefly just, so take some time, right? There's no rush now, but just take some time to look at each thing and be sure that you complete each component to your liking and to your satisfaction as well. All right, as I mentioned before, we have the supporting docs. You can upload it now, or you can email it to the YMP website, and I'll make sure everyone has our email address before the end of today. And of course, the essay question is to discuss why you're interested in YMP and what skills or competencies you hope to acquire through this intensive 1-year program. And the essay needs to be under 250 words. And of course, you can, like I said before, you can upload it when you apply, or you can email ymp@danielleadershipinstitute.org with your application. All right, you can ignore that date because we already mentioned the other one. So now, does anyone have any questions or concerns? I want to be sure that I do my best to answer while we have multiple people online here. So we can put it in chats. No bad question. There's no funky question, anything to that effect. I just want to be sure that everyone has our information. Okay. if no one has any questions, I will.
Can I say something?
Yes,
Well, I just wanted to say that the 150 can be paid in installments. I can't remember how many installments.
that's correct.
So for people who would prefer to pay it in installments, then that's an option that you have.
Thank you.
Also, I just wanted to say that a lot of benefits comes from the networks that you make as well, and some lifelong friends, and also it's a space where you can practice, what you're going through in the work world. And it's a safe space because nobody is here to criticize you, where you can hone your presentation skills. You can work on projects and have an idea of what that entails. And you'll get a lot of skills that you may not hitherto have had, but that will be beneficial for you in your work environment. Thank you.
Thank you, PT.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Yemi.
Good morning. I just have a question regarding the time duration for the workshops. Like, is it like 3 hours time frame or 2 hours? Just want to know how long, just an estimated time, how long those workshops would take each week, each month.
Yes, thank you. Okay, yeah. So, Yemi, thank you for that question.
Yeah.
In general, I would say the workshops are designed from maybe 2 to 3 hours. They're
Okay.
once a month. Most likely start in the morning, and so we'll
Okay.
go from like 10 to 12. 9 to 12, depending on what happens.
Okay.
And
All right.
of course, the most important thing is timeliness. So
Yes.
we'll do our best to start on time so we can end on time. But that's how the program's supposed to run. Whereby we have the first half or the first component is people doing presentations, giving feedback. Then we have our selected speaker, deliver their information and get interaction from you all, and then we discuss or close out with next steps. And
All
of
right.
course, it's not just those Saturdays. There's going to be ongoing communication and meetings with your fellows and with me as the program manager. So
Okay.
those are the Saturday days, but there will be other
Okay.
opportunities for communication as well,
All right.
whereby we're all on the same page.
All right, thank you so much. And my second question is regarding the recommendation letter.
Yes.
Is it going to be sent from the referee, or I can just get it from the person recommending me and just attach it to the email? Or yeah.
Yeah, you can attach it to. You can have them email me
Okay.
directly, or you can
Okay.
submit it alongside with your application.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah. All
Thank you
right.
for your
That's my
question.
question. You're welcome. Thanks.
So, like I said, it's not, there's still more than 2 weeks to apply. So, if you know anybody that is interested, please direct them to our website, so for their own edification. And I look forward to reading your applications and hearing from you. But of course, if anybody does have any questions, they can reach out to us at our email address. And before I close out, I'll make sure I put our information in the chat. Just 1 second.
And I'll say something before we leave.
Yes,
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I'm Femi Olumoka. I'm the deputy director of the Dan Leadership Institute. So thanks everyone first for joining and your interest. I think that's the first step. Having an interest in your own development, your own career growth, it's really commendable, and it's really the first step. I would just say that the program is largely beneficial, and I'm talking about it through experience. I myself was a fellow years ago. It had a profound impact on my life and my career development, to the point where I knew I needed to give back, and I ended up coming back and volunteering with the Institute, and leading this particular program for about 8 years before moving on to a deputy director role. So the program will stretch you. It would challenge you. You will grow in different areas in which you wouldn't have been able to think. You would connect. You form networks, lasting networks, and we are currently boasting about 140 plus alums of people who have actually graduated from the program, many of whom have very great success stories in terms of like what they've been able to do, how they've been able to grow. So definitely, if you are even just toying with the idea of should I or should I not, I would encourage you to take the leap because it is destined to have profound impacts on your life. But it's commensurate to what you put in, right? So if you're going to commit to it, make sure you can commit the time, make sure you can commit the effort and the diligence. And if you can do that, the sky's the limit for you. So just want to commend you once again for joining. And just as Anthony said, if you do have people who you know would benefit from this, please share the word. There's no better marketing tool than one-on-one personal communication. So please share the word, and we would love to have as big a cohort as we can sustain. Thanks, everyone.
Yep. Thank you, Femi. All right. So with that being said, just want to make sure everyone understands the process. Applications are due February 17th, with the interviews to be held on March the 1st. As Femi said, this is over 140 alumni to date. I want to close out by thanking you all again for joining. And if anybody has any questions or concerns, they can reach out. Okay, so somebody asked me when this recording will be sent out. We're gonna upload the recording to our website so people can come and check us out. It's a lot of people to email. So what we're gonna do is make sure it's good to go, upload it, and most likely put it either on our YouTube or on our website. And it won't be on for long because maybe I don't know how long it's gonna necessarily be available to everyone, but it will be available on our website here. But yes, that's when it will be available to you all. But I do want to close this out and say thank you very much for your time. I'll let you enjoy the rest of your Saturday wherever you are. And like I said, no pressure, but the application process will end on February 17th. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.